Sydney.
Yes,
Okay, thank you. My perfect day started today at 7:30 a.m. And what time did your perfect day start?
mm, 9 or 10 a.m.
Amazing. Let's continue that perfect day together on our English lesson. Today, we are observing a new topic, a new unit that is called quite controversially. It's called Who Cares? Who cares? Who cares? In fact, this topic is mm, not so popular, but it has some useful tips that will help us to know much more and to use these tips in our future. So, who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Do you have any guesses of the main idea of our lesson?
To do what you want and do not rely or I don't know on another people's opinion.
Okay, thank you for your idea. I guess that at the background, I can look through the name Who Cares? And at the background, I can see uh, different natural disasters. And I can guess that these natural disasters are connected with climate, probably climate changes. So maybe, in my opinion, we are going to speak about climate, we are going to speak about atmosphere and the problems on the earth. Because the question who cares is also connected with problems that people usually don't care. Let's see if I'm right or not right. We'll watch a short video just for an introduction to our work today. Can you see my screen? Is everything okay?
Yes.
Okay, let it start.
This film looks at climate change and how green our lifestyles are. What problems does climate change cause?
Well, since the ice caps are melting and the sea levels are rising, all the polar bears are losing their habitats.
What's the greenest form of transport that you use?
Well, our family isn't really green. We travel mainly by a 4x4, but sometimes I walk or go by bike.
I'm not very green because I do take the car to school, but there are 7 of us.
Sometimes I take the bus, but I usually walk.
It does take me 2 hours to get to school every morning. I walk for about half an hour and then I get public transport the rest of the way.
Well, that's quite green. And what materials do you recycle?
I don't recycle, but I do go to charity shops and buy things like books and DVDs.
We mainly recycle cans, plastic and sometimes cardboard.
At school we recycle everything from paper to glass.
Fantastic.
My family are very green. We try to recycle as much as we can because we care for the planet.
Sasha, what do you know about climate change? What problems does it cause?
A global как сказать глобальное потепление?
Warming, global warming.
Global warming that can kill some types of animals, some plants that can cause many natural disasters, and that if we don't do anything in right now, it can be really, really bad for our future.
What's the greenest form of transport that you use or that you know?
Walking, just walking on your own.
Okay, thank you. Agree with you. And what materials do you and your family recycle? And do you recycle any materials?
Paper, plastic, and glass.
Do you believe that it really helps the atmosphere to bring some peace to it?
What?
Do you believe that this recycle really helps to bring the peace to atmosphere?
I guess that yes.
Okay, so this is one of the methods that people do nowadays. The first thing they recycle. Another thing they do, they use the greenest forms of transport. And on the third place, they do anything just to live in a climate where they would like to live without any disasters and without any problems. Okay, thanks for your opinion. You can see right now 5 different pictures. The main picture is like a background, and others little ones that depict different problems and solutions at the same time. These phrases may help us to describe them, like carbon dioxide emissions, energy efficient, environmentally friendly, exhaust fumes, renewable energy sources, wind power, carbon footprint, greenhouse gases, fossil fuels, global warming, and solar power. So, can you please describe me these pictures with problems and also solutions and use our new vocabulary? Okay, let's start with background. What can you see at the background? Just in a big picture, the biggest one.
It's a factory that springs a lot of bad gases into the environment.
Okay, thank you. What other pictures do you see and what do they depict?
First picture is a car that also springs some bad gases into the atmosphere. Second is that is a bikers. Third is a wind ветряки, я не помню как.
Wind powers.
Wind powers. Fourth is a gas station. Okay. And fifth is a solar panels.
We can see that people are riding on their bikes, so that bikes are environmentally friendly, a kind of transport. Yes?
Yes.
How about wind powers? Are they environmentally friendly, and can people use them for a renewable energy source?
Yes.
Okay. We also see solar powers and solar panels. What do they help the atmosphere to do?
They make an energy by sun, so they don't spend any sources of our earth.
Okay, thank you. As for the gas station, what problems can cause with the great amount of gas stations?
Because it can cause also a global warming, because these gases they are really bad for our atmosphere, and also I guess that for our health it's also not really good to depressed with all these gases.
Okay, that's right. When cars come to the gas stations, we can feel that exhaust fumes from the cars. Yes, because this exhaust fumes from the cars, they are in the cars just because of or due to the gas or petrol or other things of or kinds of fuels that they usually get there. Okay, so we can see both harmful sides of people's hands and useful sides. We can find out that wind power and solar power, they're quite useful. We can say that bikes are environmentally friendly kind of transport, but other examples show us that there are some situations where people also get a harm to the atmosphere. You are going to listen just a short podcast, and your task will be to answer 6 questions and then to discuss them. What are rising global temperatures causing? What is surprising about the continued growth of the global warming? What do greenhouse gases do and what are they really? Which is the worst greenhouse gas and where does it come from? What 3 things can we do to reduce our carbon footprint? And finally, what are the greenest forms of transport? Please make some notes into your book so that it will be easier for you to answer quickly on these questions. Let us start. I'm turning on the sound. Check if you hear.
Track 69.
Climate change makes the news headlines on a daily basis. Rising temperatures around the world are causing droughts in areas that already have too little rain, as well as storms and floods just about everywhere. Some say it's already too late to reverse global warming, while others argue that we have a chance of stopping it if we act quickly. Whoever's right, there's little disagreement that global warming is incredibly serious, which is why it's so extraordinary we humans aren't doing much to deal with it. Why is climate change happening? It's all to do with the levels of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Greenhouse gases like water vapour, carbon dioxide and ozone all occur naturally in the atmosphere. Greenhouse gases act like a blanket around the Earth. They keep the heat from the sun's rays within the atmosphere and help the Earth to stay warm. But recently, the level of greenhouse gases has increased, and so the Earth has got warmer. Too warm. The most significant contributor to this rise in greenhouse gases is carbon dioxide. When fossil fuels such as coal, oil and gas are burned to generate power, they produce carbon dioxide. And it's the carbon dioxide emissions from factories and vehicle exhaust fumes that mean the levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere are now too high. So what can we do to reduce our carbon footprint? We need to change the way we generate electricity. Instead of fossil fuels, we need to switch to renewable energy sources such as solar power and wind power. Buildings need to be much more energy efficient, using less energy to stay warm or cool. We need to travel in environmentally friendly ways. Electric buses and trains produce less carbon dioxide and are greener than car journeys, but walking and cycling are obviously the greenest ways of getting about.
Are you ready? No?
Я не поняла 2 и 3.
Okay. We'll hear it
Но
again.
я не успела.
We'll hear it again. Don't worry.
Track 69.
Climate change makes the news headlines on a daily basis. Rising temperatures around the world are causing droughts in areas that already have too little rain, as well as storms and floods just about everywhere. Some say it's already too late to reverse global warming, while others argue that we have a chance of stopping it if we act quickly. Whoever's right, there's little disagreement that global warming is incredibly serious, which is why it's so extraordinary we humans aren't doing much to deal with it. Why is climate change happening? It's all to do with the levels of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Greenhouse gases like water vapour, carbon dioxide and ozone all occur naturally in the atmosphere. Greenhouse gases act like a blanket around the Earth. They keep the heat from the sun's rays within the atmosphere and help the Earth to stay warm. But recently, the level of greenhouse gases has increased, and so the Earth has got warmer. Too warm. The most significant contributor to this rise in greenhouse gases is carbon dioxide. When fossil fuels such as coal, oil and gas are burned to generate power, they produce carbon dioxide. And it's the carbon dioxide emissions from factories and vehicle exhaust fumes that mean the levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere are now too high. So what can we do to reduce our carbon footprint? We need to change the way we generate electricity. Instead of fossil fuels, we need to switch to renewable energy sources such as solar power and wind power. Buildings need to be much more energy efficient, using less energy to stay warm or cool. We need to travel in environmentally friendly ways. Electric buses and trains produce less carbon dioxide and are greener than car journeys, but walking and cycling are obviously the greenest ways of getting about.
Okay, so what are the rising global temperatures causing?
Droughts, storms and floods.
What is surprising fact about the continued growth of global warming?
That it's too late to relate, that we can stop it now.
Yes, and nowadays the Earth is getting warmer. It's a fact. Too warm. What do greenhouse gases do? Are they harmful?
They keep heat in atmosphere like blanket.
Yes, that's right. And which means that they get the Earth much warmer than it must be. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Which is the worst greenhouse gas and where does it come from?
From factories, and it's a carbon dioxide.
That's right. What three things can we do to reduce our carbon footprint?
To change the way of we generate the energy, to use renewable sources, and to use less energy travel ways.
Okay, yes. Use less energy in our apartments and houses. Yes, and travel by using environmentally friendly transport. And what are the greenest forms of transport?
Walking, cycling, and electric buses and trains.
And trains too. Yes, thank you. So let's have a look at a short article which is called Climate Change or Facts File. We are going to read with you the problem and solution article. This is a kind of article that you were writing for today's work, and it was your home task. So, after reading it, we are going to answer 2 questions and also work out some words. Right now, let's read it with the gaps. Don't put anything into the gaps, just read what we have here. The problem.
Mainly carbon dioxide occur naturally in the atmosphere, but when there's too much greenhouse gas occurs. Recently, carbon dioxide levels have gone up, mainly due to from human activity such as generating electricity from vehicles. The solutions. We can reduce our by switching to such as solar power, and buildings need to be much more, and we need to travel in ways.
Okay, Sasha, repeat please after me some words. Carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide.
Yes, not dioxide, but dioxide. And one more word, occurs.
Occurs.
That's right, occurs.
Что такое occurs?
Occurs – это возникать. Occurs равняется слову appears. Occurs, appears. Одно и то же. Carbon dioxide так и переводится carbon dioxide, но произносится dioxide. Sasha, has climate change affected where you live right now?
I guess that yes.
Can you make probably one example of how?
Like we have this summer, no, but earlier we had a really, really hot summers and a warm winter. So it's an effect of global warm changes.
I would like to add one interesting fact. I have read a story about one family. They are not alive right now because they were too old. However, they had time to share with people a true to life story about climate change that happened in 1999. In that time, they lived somewhere. I didn't really remember the direct place, but they lived somewhere near the factory. And in this factory, some guns and other war stuff was experienced and was used first time. It was made there on this factory. And they lived not so far away from this factory. Actually, that place was in the countryside, but they lived somewhere next to it. Nobody told this to people who were not far away from the factory, but some time ago, the specialists, the chemists, they were observing a new types of, не могу сказать guns, потому что guns это больше как пистолеты, но
Оружие.
оружие, да, помоги мне найти
Weapon.
weapons. Да, возможно. Окей, давай используем weapons. They were experiencing new weapons. These weapons were not usual, they were special because they were atomic. Understood what is atomic? Okay. And as a matter of fact, this weapon was experienced, like, imagine, in summer, it was January, and just in 2 months, people who lived not far away from this place, they started to be unhealthy. They had such weird problems with health that doctors couldn't explain what is the origination of it. Moreover, after the experience of these weapons, in 2 months, in summer, it got cold, minus 20 degrees of Celsius. No snow, but minus 20 degrees of Celsius. And just after this minus, that was for a week, after this minus, for a week, it was plus 40 degrees of Celsius. So it was extremely hot weather. During this period, this couple continued living in this place. They got unhealthy so much, they got different diseases, and as a matter of fact, they died. This is a truthful story, not imaginary. How environmentally friendly is your lifestyle, Sasha?
I prefer to walk than to go by a car or public transport if it's not really far away. And I always put my paper to maculatura and like we recycle it.
Maybe recycled papers or recycled newspapers. I don't know.
Yes, and I always put some bottles not into the trash, but to another place to recycle it.
Okay. Thank you for the direct methods that are environmentally friendly, and you do it in your family. We are going to listen together with you a fact or fiction file. First ignoring the gaps, then coming back to look for them. We are going to find out whether these stories were real or unreal, fact or fiction. You might know the stories, you might have heard the stories. You must understand whether they were based on the true to life changes or not true, just imaginary. Let's listen to it. This is page 90 into your book. Maybe it will be comfortable to use your book then this spring. Let us start.
Track 70.
Fact or fiction? Popular movies are a mirror on society, reflecting back at audiences their dreams as well as their inner fears. Films featuring space travel and creatures from outer space were popular in the 1950s, an era when mankind was planning the first space flights. From the 1960s until the 80s, concern about international espionage dominated the news, and some of the biggest movies of the day were thrillers about spies like James Bond. The first disaster movie came out over 100 years ago, not long after the invention of film itself. The Last Days of Pompeii, 1913, showed the destruction of the Roman city of Pompeii after Mount Vesuvius erupted. But it was a silent movie filmed in black and white, and it lacked the pace and excitement we expect from modern movies. Disaster movies really took off after the introduction of special effects. One of the first big hits was Airport, 1970, filmed at a time when air travel was becoming popular. Although air travel was relatively safe, people were irrationally scared of flying, and Airport exploited people's worries about crashes. Continuing the transport theme, the Poseidon Adventure, 1972, is set on a huge cruise ship that is sunk by a tsunami. In Earthquake, 1974, most of Los Angeles is in ruins. And perhaps the best of the 70s disaster films was The Towering Inferno, 1974, about a deadly fire in a 138-story office tower. Other films saw asteroid impacts, survival after a nuclear war, or the spread of a terrible disease, as in Outbreak, 1995, and attacks by monsters or killer animals, most famously the shark in Jaws, 1975. Today, many people believe that climate change is the most serious threat to our existence on Earth, and there is increasing concern about its extreme consequences, such as the polar ice caps melting. Scientists believe that if the ice caps melted, sea levels would rise and the climate would change very significantly. So it comes as no surprise that there are plenty of films about extreme weather events like floods and thunderstorms, or changes to the climate that would make the world impossible for people to live in. The Day After Tomorrow, 2004, is a classic story about a future world in which the climate has become so extreme that our present way of life is no longer possible. In the film, a climate specialist sets out on a trek across North America to save his son in New York, which has been buried under a frozen sea of ice after a giant snowstorm, triggered by the collapse of the ice sheets in Antarctica. Traditional disaster movies explore people's anxieties about things beyond their control, but climate disaster films are different because we could actually control climate change if we wanted to. Solar power and wind farms are affordable, environmentally friendly alternatives to oil and gas. Assuming we wanted to stop global warming getting worse, we would switch to renewable energy sources right now. Scientists have set targets for carbon reduction, and if we all worked hard to meet them, we might prevent some of the worst consequences of climate change. Obviously, disaster movies are made mainly for entertainment. If they weren't entertaining, people wouldn't go and watch them. But perhaps movies such as The Day After Tomorrow can also be helpful by encouraging us to focus on the issue of climate change and take it more seriously.
Okay, so look at the posters again and let me know, please, which film poster is not mentioned.
Is it Ice Age Collision Comes?
Okay, wasn't mentioned. Why? Why do you think it wasn't mentioned here?
Because because they are not mentioned there, because it's like just a cartoon.
A fiction cartoon. Yes, just a fiction cartoon. We can also say that other movies could be fiction as well. However, what was the main example of the movie that could make our interests and also could be an example of a climate change, desperate climate change?
The Day After Tomorrow?
Yes. Have you watched that movie?
No.
No. I have watched it once in my life. It was interesting because it was extraordinary. It is the only film where I saw not global warming, not invasions different with NLO, with UFO, etc. But it was about frozen country, frozen cities, just in 2 days, which was really interesting to see. So I recommend you to watch it if you like that kind of genre. Do you believe that it's a fact or a fiction? Can it be real to be frozen just in 1 or 2 days?
I guess it's a fiction.
It's a fiction. Okay. We'll see. Let's go on. I would like you to work out right now today on a summary of that article. What can be a great summary of that fact or fiction article? A. People have enjoyed disaster movies for the past 100 years. Movies explain a lot about the society that makes them. Disaster movies used to be about spies and space travel. Look through the summaries and find out the right one, the best one.
I guess it's the first one.
Read it aloud.
People have enjoyed disaster movies for the past 100 years. A lot of them are about our great hopes and fears. Recent disaster movies all tend to deal with climate change.
Okay. Why do you think it's the best one?
Because I guess that just because people actually maybe do not watch it to in the most likely situation a person watch it like entertaining but not like some studying
Okay, yes.
to think about our nature just to entertain.
And people usually don't care.
Yes.
Just to watch movies just for fun, but not to watch it with a special sum for yourself, with a special maybe opinion on the following problem of the climate change and of the earth all in all. Yeah, thank you. Now, let's put the words right now to fill in this article. I want you to listen to it again and with the help of the audio to choose first, second, third, and other numbers. Let's go.
Track 70.
Fact or fiction? Popular movies are a mirror on society, reflecting back at audiences their dreams as well as their inner fears. Films featuring space travel and creatures from outer space were popular in the 1950s, an era when mankind was planning the first space flights. From the 1960s until the 80s, concern about international espionage dominated the news, and some of the biggest movies of the day were thrillers about spies like James Bond. The first disaster movie came out over 100 years ago, not long after the invention of film itself. The Last Days of Pompeii, 1913, showed the destruction of the Roman city of Pompeii after Mount Vesuvius erupted. But it was a silent movie filmed in black and white, and it lacked the pace and excitement we expect from modern movies. Disaster movies really took off after the introduction of special effects. One of the first big hits was Airport, 1970, filmed at a time when air travel was becoming popular. Although air travel was relatively safe, people were irrationally scared of flying, and Airport exploited people's worries about crashes. Continuing the transport theme, the Poseidon Adventure, 1972, is set on a huge cruise ship that is sunk by a tsunami. In Earthquake, 1974, most of Los Angeles is in ruins, and perhaps...
That's enough. So, the first number.
Planning.
Mankind was planning, good. The second number.
Thrillers.
Thank you. The third.
Game.
What is came out? Came out.
When it's went for public.
Appear. Occur. Okay. Number 4.
Destruction.
Thank you. Number 5.
Lacked.
Okay. It lacked the pace. What is it? It lacked the pace and excitement.
It's different.
It lacked the pace and excitement. It means it appeared for people or it occurred for people. So for now, for this moment, you must know 3 different synonyms. The first, appear. The second, occur. And the third, lacked. Next, number 6.
Off.
Disaster movies really took off after the introduction of special effects. Really took off.
Like it became really popular.
That's right. And finally, number 7, irrationally. What is people were irrationally scared of flying?
There were no reason to be scared.
Excellent. Yes, thanks for your
Track 70.
Let's continue.
Fact or fiction?
Story. What did the first disaster film lack? Try to find the answer into the text. What did the first disaster film lack?
The Last Days of Pompeii.
It lacked the pace and excitement. Yes?
Yeah.
What changed about disaster films in the 1970s?
It took off because of the special effects.
Fantastic. How do climate disaster movies differ from other disaster movies?
Because it can happen with us in every moment, and it makes the watcher feels much more scared.
How can humans avoid a disaster caused by climate change?
To stop the factories working that spring some greenhouse gases to change their traveling ways, like to electricity, trains, cars, buses.
Okay, thanks.
Track 70.
Let's come back
Fact.
To the next one. Something that could cause damage. Try to find the highlight words which best suits for this meaning. Something that could cause damage. Track, collapse, story, threat, concern. If you're not sure, we can skip it and find out another one, or you can find the right answer.
Skip.
Alone, sometimes hard, journey on foot.
Story.
Story, okay. Letter B, you will see next. A level of a building. A level of a building, это как раз вот это story. 138 story office tower. 138. 138, грубо говоря, этажей. Поэтому a level of building, this is a story. Пока что третье нашли хорошо. Number 4. When something suddenly falls over or fails to work.
Collapse.
Collapse. The first one has found when people feel nervous or worried about something.
Threat.
Thank you. So we have found 3, 4, and 5. Let's find out the number 2. Alone, sometimes hard journey on foot.
Track.
Yes. And something that could cause damage.
Concern.
Look, concern and threat. According to the context, what are they?
Threat is like a thing that can scare you.
Okay, letter B. And the concern?
Concern is или наоборот.
Наоборот. Да, поэтому я тебя и спросила по контексту определить. Да, супер. То есть, when people feel nervous or worried about something, they are concerned. And
something that could cause damage is threat.
Отлично, да. Разобрались, теперь 100% точно
Track 70.
знаем верный ответ. Хорошо.
Fact.
Последний вопрос. точнее 2. What can you guess about the plots of Airport and Earthquake? Имеется в виду, what is the main idea of these movies?
Airport is probably that I can think that a plane falls down. It's probably it's a warning not to fly on these planes because it makes an ozone. Я не помню, как называется, но озоновые дыры.
Yes, ozone holes. We can say.
Ozone holes. And earthquake. I think that's just about an earthquake.
Yes, okay. Do you agree that popular movies are a mirror on society?
Yes.
They are, okay. Okay, thank you. That's enough for today. Have you got any questions to our topic that we were observing?
No.
Our lesson is over. If you have any questions about your homework that I will send you, please make sure to and feel free to ask me. And as for your homework that was for today, I will give you feedback a little bit later today. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Have a nice day.